Thanks for coming to today's meeting. We'll start with apologies for absence. Kathy, something we've got that one before everybody's here. Officers, flowers yet? I think. Are there any declarations of interests? I don't think so. No. Got the minutes of the last meeting. If you're there, we're happy with them. Yeah, we're moved them. Are we happy to agree those? Yeah, thank you. Right, we'll move on to item 4, digital strategy. Do you want me to lead on this, Dave?
Thanks.
Joke,
It is me.
Go on, Dave.
Yeah, go for it, Chair. Yeah, bro, thanks. Make it easy for me. Right, afternoon, everybody. So I'm here today to present the digital strategy.
Turn you up a bit.
Oh, glad it's you lot.
Hey, you can't hear me.
Dave, we're just turning you up, don't worry.
I think where it says Mike, you need to select the
Let's
telly.
take it down a bit.
Drop down. It's
Can't see Woodford trees, Dave. You should have stayed at home.
I think it's TV as well.
Try again.
That any better?
That's it. That's it. Now we're talking.
Is he? Brill. Right, thanks everybody. So I'm here today to present the digital strategy to you guys. So this strategy, it's more than just a technology plan. It's about how we deliver better services for us residents, businesses and communities in a way that's simple, inclusive and future ready. So a bit of background of where we are for you. This current digital strategy that dates back to 2020, pre-COVID, and that obviously changed hugely how residents and businesses interacted with us as councils. Since then, that expectation has just shifted dramatically and it's not changed since. The businesses, residents are expecting quick digital transactions, and we need to be able to deliver all this while managing financial pressures. So this strategy aligns with our council plan and it responds to those challenges. Not only that, it's forward facing, it's proactive, and it's helping us prepare ourselves and ready for the next few years as well, as digital advancements continue at great pace. The strategy is built on what residents told us in the summer. We had a survey and the questions about this strategy were included. We consulted on that and over 85% of respondents supported our digital ambitions. And they also reminded us of the importance of inclusion and keeping a human touch. I think it's important just to stress on that point as well. This strategy is not to replace any of our existing contact methods. It's here to enhance what we offer as a council. So I'll run you through the 4 ambitions that we've got here. So our vision, it's simple. It's not about technology. It's about great service design. And to achieve that, we've got 4 ambitions, which are easy, engaging and inclusive. And what this means is ensuring services are simple to use, they're accessible for everyone, and they've got a strong focus on the digital inclusion. Number 2 is simple, stable and secure. So we're aiming to reduce complexity. We want to improve reliability and strengthen our cybersecurity across all the systems. Number 3 is for it to be well used and used well. So that's giving staff the skills and the tools to make the most of the Microsoft 365 packages and emerging technologies like Copilot AI, and then where systems used safely, responsibly, and this in turn minimises risk. And number 4 is collaborate, share and innovate, and that's building a culture of innovation with our staff, working with partners to deliver outcomes for us residents, businesses and employees. As part of the strategy as well, there's a detailed action plan. There's loads of practical steps in there, such as improving his website so it doesn't take more than 3 clicks to get to what you need, undertaking major systems reviews, and then the responsible rollout of AI, so that can improve the quality of work from staff, and that provides us with valuable insights and data for data-driven decisions. So I think the value for residents and the council, in practice, this means for residents, it should be faster, simpler services, and that is intuitive across the organisation when you're contacting us or using any of our services. for the council, it means efficiency gains through automation, cost savings from system consolidation, and higher quality data for those decision-making processes. For the district, we're supporting economic growth by making it easier for businesses to work with us digitally, and that's enhancing what we have. It's small step stuff which makes a big difference. There's some nice stats here for you, such as the email function that we've got. Over 3,000 people receive updates for business opportunities and to hear about vacancies, funding, or for us email bin service reminder. Over 12,000 people are signed up to that. So you can see what's being used quite a lot. So what this strategy is about delivering more with less without leaving anybody behind. And so we need to discuss risk on this as well. So as was highlighted from our staff survey, digital exclusion is something that residents felt concerned about, and the ethical use of AI. So within the strategy, there's a huge section on digital inclusion and how we can address that. And that's got its own action plan as well. And then Kath's team will be integral to this strategy moving forward. So that's in terms of ethics, monitoring, and evaluation. And the digital transformation group is also working on developing the governance and policies behind the scenes for our AI use and the rollout. And as you know, cybersecurity and resilience need to be at the front and centre alongside all of this. So in summary, this strategy is about making life easier for residents, helping our teams work smarter, more efficient, putting higher quality data at the centre of what we do, which enables us to make data-driven decisions. And this then positions us as a modern, digitally confident council. And so today I'm asking for your approval of the strategy, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Thanks, Dave. That's really good. A good piece of work, I think, there. I'm just flicking through the strategy again. It's really, really good. Any questions?
It's good. It's a good politics being way forward.
Yeah, it's really good. I'm just looking at this quality impact assessment, and you're referring there to the elected members, and it's gone through the Service and Scrutiny Committee, and it'll be brought back annually to monitor its effectiveness. So there's an oversight, not just here, but with scrutiny as well, because that is always a fear, and it's been something since we started on this digital thing, that we don't leave people behind, that there are people that haven't got computers, would you believe, or even mobile phones. Can't believe them sort of days. But there are still people like that, and we have moved on at a pace, haven't we, with all this technology, and we don't want to leave anybody behind with that. But I'm sure you've mentioned it several times that we won't do that. So with that, Jane, do you want to?
I just want to really say thank you, because I've had a few constituents talk to me about accessing things. You know, like you've just said about the bin reminder, and how good they found that. Then loaded it, helped other people to get on and do it. You know, older people that didn't know what to do, so they've done that. So they found it really helpful. So I just wanted to pass that on, really.
Oh, thanks, Jane.
Brilliant, thank you.
Thank you. So I can move the recommendations in one. Do I need to read that out? Are we happy? We've got that one. Yeah. Move the digital strategy and a 5-year roadmap on whatever. Second. Are we all in favour of that? And well done, Dave. Good work.
Brilliant, thank you, everybody. Is this where I leave them?
Up to you. You can stay or you can leave. Entirely up to you.
No, you're contracted to stay. There's a jade's nest in that one on the left hand side.
This one.
That's the one.
Right, I'll see you all later. Thank you.
See you later.
See you then. Bye.
Bye.
Item 5, supported housing lease arrangements. And again, I'll hand over to Lee Pepper.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. The purpose of this report is to seek cabinet approval on the future use of the spinner, which is formerly Arkham House. along with 2 long-term void properties, 167 Market Street, Claycross, and 60 John Street, Claycross. Those properties in particular are, long-term void and would have been sold on the open market if we weren't going to use them. Another decision that I'd like to put to you is that all of the properties be leased under a full repairs and maintenance agreement with P3 Charity, who will again carry out all those repairs and maintenance on the agreements. A background to the report, there are currently 294 units of support accommodation in North East Derbyshire, and that's provided by 19 different providers, all with varying different portfolios. A lot of those will be commissioned and non-commissioned services. None of those 294 units are directly accessible to North East Derbyshire's housing options team in terms of preventing or relieving homelessness. There's a background to not having direct access to our own provision is that in 2022-23 we were unable to get anybody into supported accommodation who presented at the relief stage. At the prevention stage, where we can get people into accommodation more easily because there's more time to work with people, we're only able to accommodate 4 people into supported accommodation. So strategically, there is a huge gap, and that's recognised by our housing strategy and the latest housing needs assessment that we did later on. It came out earlier this year. So a background in terms of why we're working with P3 Charity. We already have a very good mental health support service with them. We want to reconfigure that service and marry it to an accommodation service, and then has the flexibility that it moves with people once they move out of supported accommodation into whatever secure tenancy they might have with the council or private rented tenancy, whatever that may be. The target is that we attain 11 units across the district. This provision that you're making the decision today gets us to 7. So we've got 2 other properties being lined up soon. In the report, there is some indicative costs in terms of rent loss. Obviously, but when we're attaching that to what we're doing, obviously we're not collecting any rent on the current void properties. The spinner, as you may already know, consists of a main building with 4 apartments. One of those apartments we'll use as an office for P3 staff and support services, and also the housing options team who can drop in and talk and support people that they've actually referred in. So again, we haven't got that at all. In actual fact, you don't get that across Derbyshire. So it's a big step. It's an ambitious move, but it's one that we very much need. In terms of there's also some cost savings on there in terms of the spinner if it lay empty, and that's really it. I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Lee. That's really good. I don't know, you sent me these papers out yesterday, and I was reading through, really good. I don't know if everybody's had sight of these, but it sort of explains that P3 Charity, I didn't know this, but People, Potential and Possibilities is what the P stands for.
I didn't know that.
There you go. And I think that's very good. But within this as well, Lee, you've put in our sort of philosophy, if you like, about working in partnership and trying to prevent homelessness and get people back on the right track, really, get back into housing, not just short term, but so they're not continually coming back round again. So another great piece of work, I think. And are there any questions for Lee before we progressed.
I think we've had them all before.
We did have a discussion around it earlier, didn't we? And hopefully it'll be a success. And I don't know if you want to add out, Jane,
No,
just on the.
more than happy to proceed. I think it is, like Lee says, it's ambitious, it's a new area for us, but it's an area that Lee and I are really passionate about. We know there's a gap, and we know it's something that we want to be able to do more. You know, our tenants come in all shapes and sizes, and we want to be able to support them all, so.
Yes.
Watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can I move the recommendations that in one, Cabinet to note and agree to the intended use of the properties highlighted, and two, Cabinet agree for the properties to be leased under a full repairing and insuring arrangement and at a peppercorn rate and lease charge. I'll move those.
I'll second it.
And second that, and we're all in favour? And just, I don't know if you can forward these just electronically to other
That's the
cabinet
next
members,
step.
because I think it's,
Yeah.
it's lots of information in there.
Yeah.
And it reassures us on the P3 who they are and what they do. and all
Indeed.
that.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's great. We'll move on then to the Planning Policy Annual Monitoring Report for publication. Steve.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah. The purpose of this really is to inform members of the key findings of the annual monitoring report. I must say it's an excellent document. Some really good information in there. There's the Brownfield Land Registry in that and the infrastructure funding statement. But just from that monitoring report, Chair, because it is quite weighty, there's quite a bit to it. If not have time to wade through it, I'll just pick out some points. I mean, we are in relation to the council plan target. With that, we're performing quite well against that, which I think is really good to note. And just to highlight from that, some of the key points from that. Obviously, this covers the period 24-25. And in that time, 110 affordable homes have actually been delivered through the planning system in that period, which I think is a significant number. And we should note that there's a further 375 that have got planning permission. And just over 300 of those are expected to come forward in the next 5 years. So there's quite a positive move on that, Chair. As of the 31st of March this year, 2025, we'd also got commitments for 17 age designated dwellings. There were 6 outstanding commitments for nursing and residential care homes, and 315 outstanding commitments for accessible and adaptable homes. So that's quite important, I think, to note that, that we are looking at targeting more vulnerable and older people within that plan. It's quite important to note that. Something that is quite important, I think, to note, because there's often a reference all over about why aren't we using brownfield sites, that in that 24-25 period, 34% in that time, we built upon previously developed land, we built on brownfield land, Chair. So there's some really good points in there if you want to have a read through it. On that note, I'll just ask David if he wants to make any further comments about that.
Yeah, thanks, Councillor Pickering. I think just building up on the back of that brownfield land point. Obviously, one of the appendices to the report is the Brownfield Land Registry itself, which effectively all councils are duty bound to maintain, and this is for any site that we're satisfied is actually developable for housing and would come forward, it is deliverable. And it's basically any site that would accommodate 5 houses or more, so from fairly small upward. And of the 1800 circa that's on our Brownfield Land Register, there's only about 200, I think it's actually a bit less than 200, sites that don't have any planning history, i.e. they don't have an application that's been approved, they haven't already been built out in large parts. So taking 3 of them, former Bywaters, certainly has permissions in place and is largely built out. The avenue here, there are some houses left within the planned period allocation, but a significant chunk of those have already been built out. And the other one, I can't remember, handle it, the former coalite site, we've got an application in for that. As well as it having a history, we've got an application in for housing on that site at the moment. So in the relatively short term, those 3 sites are about 1,500 homes of the 1,800 on the register. And as I say, various other ones have also got permission as well. So I think in terms of the challenge that we've got moving forward with the new local plan, you know, even if the housing target had remained the same at the sort of circa 300 a year, we've got less than 1 year's worth of housing on brownfield land. So I think it is quite a key point to reiterate. I think just in terms of the work on the new local plan is obviously a massive service priority. It's important to monitor where we are with the current plan, but we know that really the picture is about what we're doing with the new plan, and we are at the moment on course for that. It's 12 months till we've got to, or just over 12 months till we've got to submit the plan. So got a busy year ahead, but we are on track. We've had the first consultation. We're finalising the assessment of the results of the issues and options consultation at the moment. The plan is to have another meeting with the local plan working group definitely this calendar year, probably back end of November. And there will be a message going out to all members in relation to the focus groups, which are kind of a key part of the engagement in the next bit of the plan, where effectively we're going to be taking those issues and options results and starting to formulate what is the new plan going to look like. So that will be happening. There'll be communication coming out fairly soon, and those working groups, the target again is to start those before Christmas, probably back end of November. So that was it, Chair, from me, unless there's any sort of specific question.
Oh, that's great, there we go. A lot of information in here, isn't it?
There's a lot, it's worth reading through it though.
Yeah, I think it is. Good. Another good piece of work, I think, from, and we're going to exciting bit then, David, on the local plan.
Yeah, it's only a busy 12 months.
That's to all concerned. But yeah, any,
No, if there's no other question, Chair, I'll move the recommendation, one, which is to note the contents of the report and approve the contents for publication on the council's website.
I'll second that, and well done to all those that put this together.
Thank you.
Well done, thank you. Good. We've cracked on. Item 7, agent items. I've not got any. No, anybody, any agent items? No. Item 8, exclusion of public. And I enjoy this bit. I do it by the medium of dance.
You don't use your jazz hands.
That the public be excluded from the meeting during the discussion of the following items of business to avoid the disclosure to them of exempt information as defined in Part 1 of Schedule 12A to the Local Government Act 1972, as amended by the Local Government Access to Information Variation Order 2006. The category of exempt information is stated after each item. That's it. That's the excluded.
We always like that bit too.
Martin said attended. Oh, good.
Thank you. Item 9 then. Derby and Derbyshire Strategic Leadership